has anyone ever heard these before?
No.
Besides the people who made them?
I don't think anyone's ever heard it.
This is insane.
That song was like 8 years old by the time.
Really?
Yeah, by the time it came out. Wait, I think I...
It's the return of
Benny Met Sheeran, Britney Spears, Rihanna, SZA.
And you got Selena Gomez on it.
Hundreds of millions of records sold.
Who is this Benny Blanco that's on all these songs?
Did I ever tell you the Diamond story? Every single person told us stereo hearts wouldn't work. Moves like Jagger's not gonna work. Every person. Sometimes I'm taking a shit and I just hear a whole chorus in my head.
Moves Like Jagger was the song you were trying to make as your idea?
As my idea.
Whoa.
All the first people I worked with, they were all nobodies. Now she's like the biggest artist in the world.
Yeah?
And people have no idea, because it's not like gets you pumped up.
Yeah.
Here's the original version.
This is something people can see how music is created. I think it's going to drive a lot of people to be like, wow, look, maybe I can do it too.
Aw, you're so good at this. Me and Ed Sheeran.
You guys wrote 5 number ones for other artists.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk about the songs that...
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, listen to this.
Yeah, you can do anything if you put a mind to it. Take your whole life and you put the line through it.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Here we are again with the one and only, one of my musical heroes, Benny Blanco.
Where am I supposed to look? There's so many cameras.
There's like
Do I look
4.
at this one?
So
Hello.
This one's on me, this one's on you, this one's on there, and this one's on us.
Hello, 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 hello. Okay, I'm saying hello. Oh, look at that one. Okay. Okay, we're here.
And we're back. Benny, it is such an honor to see you again.
Wow, you're so juiced up. When you first came in here, you were so tired.
Yeah,
and now you're at like peak energy.
Well, now you were starting to play me the demos, and it just like brought like energy and joy to me
Yeah, your
so
face
quickly.
was like...
It's insane. First of all, like, has anyone ever like heard these before?
No.
Besides the people who made them, which is...
Yeah, probably. I don't think anyone's ever heard it.
This is insane. This is amazing.
You're breaking ground.
You're helping me break ground.
I got nothing.
This was a big idea from Benny. Benny wanted to go over a lot of the demos, and you know, one of the pieces that is really important to me for this series is, of course, to shine a light on the people and stories behind music, but it's also to inspire the next generation of creatives.
Of course.
And I think that's really, like, this is something people can see how music is created. I think it's going to drive a lot of people to be like, wow, look, maybe I can do it too.
Aw, you're so good at this. You inspire me. I get inspired.
That means the world. You inspire me though, Benny. Before we get into it, a lot has changed, like, since our last interview, which, by the way, so many people loved. So many people loved our last conversation. So to do this again, dream for me. Well, I mean, you got engaged.
Oh, I did. I did get engaged.
Huge.
I did get engaged. That's true. That's true. That's true. I'm engaged.
Amazing.
I know.
One of the songs we may go over today, I believe, was the first time you might have worked with Selena. Is that right?
Yeah, probably.
Same Old Love?
Same old. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that might be the first time. What was that, 2013?
I looked it up. I think it's like 2015 or so.
When did Same Old Love come out? It came out in 2015. I think we worked earlier.
Because I saw it Kill 'Em With Kindness.
What year is that?
I think it was 2016.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because we started Same Old Love in 2013 or something, the end of 2013 or something. That makes sense.
You started Same Old Love at the end.
I think so.
It took 2 years.
Is
that normal for a song?
Like sometimes I have songs. I have a song that by the time it came out, it was probably 8 years old. 8 years old. What's that song called? Animals by Maroon 5. That song was like 8 years old by the time.
Really?
Yeah, by the time it came out. Wait, I think I...
What?
Hold on. Yeah, it was originally... We had made like a... I don't even know the password to this computer. It's so old. There we go.
By the way, this is super sick. I love this.
Okay, wait. This beat... What is it? Oh, yeah. We had started this beat so long. I think it was for like B.O.B. Yeah, wait, hold on.
Wow.
Okay, wait, hold Hold on. Okay. This is just the idea. Like, me and Shellback have been working on a beat, and then he sent me a thing over a voice note. Listen, it's like poor quality.
This was through a voice note that him recording.
Yeah. And then it becomes like this.
Baby, I pray on you tonight. Hunt you down and eat you alive. Just like animals, like animals, moles. What about you think you can hide? I can smell you from a mile. Just like animals, like
I mean,
animals,
songs like this take so much shit. You know, I mean, like, there's so many different versions of these songs. Like, okay, perfect example. There was a friend of mine that I signed very early on in my career named Amar Malik. And he was from Virginia, from my hometown. And I remember they were at home back in Virginia. He had still lived in Virginia at the time. He's like at home with my guy Robopop, Dano. And they were all just like coming up with ideas. And I remember there was like a kernel of an idea that they sent me. And this was the original thing. Watch, I don't even know when it comes. Hold on. Oh, yeah. And then you look at like this, then I was in a hotel, or no, I was on a train, and I like started producing it up, and then we brought Shell back into it, and then here's like a slightly more produced up version. I don't even know if this has. No, this is my first attempt at like a little thing, and then we have.
I'm at a payphone trying to call home. All of my change I spent.
Is that?
And then this is Shellback singing.
Oh my gosh.
And then we came up with like a verse. This is where the verse happened.
Yeah, I know I said that I'll be there. I didn't want you to know. I wanna say that I still care, but you would tell me to go. You don't expect me to be fine. I never would agree, and never would I believe that heart.
And all the lyrics mean nothing, like, cause like it's not.
But it's like kind of there still.
Yeah, like sometimes there's things, but like, and then this was the first time Adam ever got on it.
I'm at a payphone trying to go home. All of my change I spent on you.
And then it becomes.
I'm at a payphone trying to
And it's just like, these songs build up. Like, I mean, you look at like take example like this. Okay, watch this.
Okay.
So like these are like, okay, so you take, let me try to find I don't even know where the first one is here. Listen. Watch, listen. So the lyrics, we don't even know what they're gonna be yet. Watch. It's insane.
Just tell me the stars if you feel like, and tell me the lies if you know right. Just tell me the love, tell me the love, tell me the cause.
Wow.
Just tell me the stars if you feel like.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's always the right like consonants and syllables and like phonetics. Like watch, but then the chorus has a little bit in it. Watch.
Yeah.
so there's like, you know, it's starting to, and then it like, the songs, they get, you know, they get more along the way. What? And we like started a little bit more production. Then, wait, let me see what the. Oh wait, there's another one before that. Huh? Oh wait, oh yeah, this was like the first time we had. This is like the first time me and Adam got the lyrics right. This was the first time.
Just shoot for the stars. If it feels right, then aim for my heart. If you feel like it, take me away and make it okay. I swear I'll behave. You wanted control, so we waited.
Now you want to know something insane about this. Okay, so here's the whole story about how this song happened. Okay? This story's insane.
I'm excited.
Okay. So I'm going to take you down a little story time. Okay, so the first time Amar had been working at his house in Virginia, okay? And my manager was working at Atlantic Records at that time. And we all started working on this demo. And this was a demo.
My heart's a stereo, it beats for you, so listen close. Hear my thoughts in every note. So make me a radio. Turn me
Okay,
up when
so
you feel low. This melody was meant for you, so sing along to my stereo.
So we had that, okay?
Okay.
I go in, we do the song with Travi, everything is going all according to plan. And I remember we were like, who are we gonna put on the chorus? Okay. And I had just been at a Sarah Bareilles concert, okay, randomly. My business manager was like, come to this Sarah Bareilles concert, I want you to meet her. I get to the concert. Her manager at the time was a guy named Jordy, who unfortunately passed away since then. And he said, hey, I also manage the band Maroon 5. And he said, they've never written with anyone else before, but I really think you and him would be great. And it's like a loud concert. And I said, okay, hook me up. We'll, do it, blah, blah, blah. I start thinking, I'm like, this was right when Train's whole Hey Soul Sister got big. And I was like, oh my God. Like, Maroon 5 was obviously huge, had the best, but like, they were like, they weren't like as poppy as they once were at this time. Okay. And I remember I was like, we got to put Adam Levine and Maroon 5 on this song. And I remember going to like a radio person and saying like, I really think this is going to be great. And they were like, Adam Levine, Maroon 5, like isn't that like a little bit like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. And I was like, no, there's something about it. I really think we could. And I remember we go to Adam and he like never wants to get on a song. He's like, okay, but I have to like make it my own. I have to change the lyric. I have to, write this bridge. I got to do all this stuff. We get him to do it. He loves the song so much. And he's like, I want this song so bad. I said, let me give you another song. I have an idea like for another song. I had no idea at that time. That's when we hurry, we make moves like Jagger. In the meantime, I'm like in a hotel room going back and forth trying to make it happen.
Moves like Jagger was the song you were trying to make as your idea?
As my idea. Whoa. So we get the song done. He loves that song. He stays on Stereo Hearts. Everyone at radio thinks I'm an idiot. It winds up being huge success. Number one, we have moves like Jagger. The problem is they have another song at radio at this time called Never Gonna Leave This Bed. And his manager comes to me and he said, hey, we have this other song. Adam's gonna be on this new television show. It's kind of like American Idol. And I was like, I was like, yeah, but American Idol already exists. He's like, no, it's going to be like bigger than American Idol. And I really think it's going to be a big thing. And like we're going to have him perform and premiere this song on the TV show. And I was like, okay. I was like, but there's already American Idol. Was there going to be and he's like, I'm telling you, just trust me. So his label, Interscope at the time, wants him to play Never Gonna Leave This Bed. And they think he's gonna play it. But Jordy at the time, the manager, was like, we're just gonna sneak and put this song on and not tell the label. We're gonna perform this song and we're gonna release it that night. They perform the song. His record label goes, you fucking idiot, what are you doing? You're supposed to play the single we have at radio right now. Why would you do that? We wake up the next morning. It's number 1 in 85 countries, okay? The label owner goes, change the song at radio immediately. And they changed the song, never look back. You know, that started such a great journey with, you know, me and Maroon 5. We probably made 5 or 6 number 1s after that. And really like, you know, we believed in each other to make these records, you know.
Yeah.
To trust each other. And, you know, Adam had never written with anybody else before. So it was like a big step in the right direction for something that lasted like a really long time. It was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So you never fucking know. You never know. Amar was making a demo to Stereo Hearts in his parents' basement. And then 5 months later had 2 Billboard number 1s.
That's insane.
With somebody that everybody was counting against. Every single person told us Stereo Hearts wouldn't work. Moves Like Jagger's not going to work. Every person. So it's like, I don't know. I always feel like I always want to go against what everyone is saying because I don't know. You got to trust your heart.
Yeah. What made these songs feel like you were so like, yes, these are the ones. These are the ones I believe in.
It's so hard to explain to someone who doesn't like traditionally make music. But I actually always want to know if a listener feels this too. When I know the song is one of those songs, I get this like strange feeling in like my stomach or chest, like right when you're about to like kiss someone for the first time, or you're like gonna get hit by a car, and it's like it kind of takes your breath away, and then I always smile and I can't stop smiling. Like when someone plays something so sick and I'm just like, and you can't stop. So whenever I get those feelings, I usually am just like, oh, I have to go with that because I like that. So at least a few people might.
Did you know that right from the demo or when Adam got on them?
Those songs I knew right away.
Oh, that's cool.
The second I was like, oh, this is it. And I just have to trust my intuition. I knew they were great. I'm never like one of those guys that's like, this is a hit song. I knew they were amazing and they made me feel a certain way. And I hope they made other people feel that way because I just want to share. I just want to share music that makes me feel like so excited because hopefully it can make another person feel excited. I'm not even thinking about it in like the hit capacity. If it's a hit, that's great. Otherwise, it's still a good day for me. I put out a song that I love.
What I love most of all is like it sounded like no one believed in those songs.
Yeah, a lot of big songs people don't really believe in until it's too late.
Until they're huge, until they are big.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy to me.
Wow.
Yeah. What's another song we're supposed to talk about?
We have Diamonds, Rihanna.
Okay.
Same Old Love, Selena.
Okay.
Julia Michaels, Issues.
Okay.
You just did Moves Like Jagger.
Okay, I want to tell you a story about Issues. This is a crazy story that not that many people know. Okay. Julia Michaels.
Amazing
I'm tucking my arm right here. Oh yeah, I'm getting comfy for this one. Julia Michaels.
Yeah.
Incredible songwriter, okay?
Facts.
She was like just starting to get big, okay? She had a few hits under her belt. And I think it was the day Sorry went number 1. She had just broken up with her boyfriend. She came into the studio. She was crying. She felt terrible. And I remember us talking in the lounge. We got her like cupcakes or something and champagne. And she was crying, but she was like happy at the same time. And I said, let's write a song. She was like, I don't know. We wrote a song with Stargate and Justin. And I always wanted to have one of those songs that had like an orchestra behind it. Like Salam Remy was so good at doing that. And like I love that song Bust the Windows by Jasmine Sullivan. I love I also love like Unfaithful by Rihanna. I love those moments where it was like strings, and I was like, we have to bring that back. So we started playing some stuff, and then Issues just like fell out of the sky. Okay. And Julia just like, it just happened so quickly. And I remember everyone wanted that song. Everyone wanted to sing that song. They wanted that song to come out as their project. And Julia called me, days, weeks after. And she said, Benny, I think I want to become an artist. And I think I want to use that song. And I said, that's fucking amazing. Let's do it. Some other people didn't necessarily believe in that same vision. And they were like, what are you talking about? This song's right here. It's huge. There's an artist right here. There's so many artists fighting over this. And I just remember telling everyone, I was like, if she wants the song, give her the song. It's her heart and soul, and she sells it so well. Like, and it's a song. We'll make another song. If it's not, if it's not a thing, it just felt right in that moment. And so many people were against it. She didn't even have a record deal yet. And I remember we finally got her to have the song. Everyone, same thing. Everyone was so nervous about it. Nobody thought it was going to be this big thing. And she puts the song out. It connects like a motherfucker. And that year, she literally got nominated for Best New Artist and Song of the Year. So it was like this song that we did that nobody believed in, for her to be the artist. They just wanted some huge artist that was already successful. And for me, it's like, that's cool. But like breaking a new artist and like bringing a new artist with so much personality and identity to the world is so much better to me than, just doing a song for like a big person. All the first people I worked with, they were all nobodies. Kesha wasn't big. Katy Perry wasn't big. I didn't work with like a big artist till a little bit later. And then I was like, oh, this is cool too. You know what I mean? It's like when we work with like Rihanna, I was like, oh my God, this is a moment. Now, that's a crazy story. Okay.
Okay.
This is an insane story. Did I ever tell you the Diamond story?
I've heard glimpses of the Diamond story, but I've never.
But never.
It.
We didn't do it.
We
didn't do it together. Did
Never.
We? Okay. Here we go.
I'm ready.
This is so long ago. I'm so old. Well, I'm just thinking. This is like when we did this. It was probably 2010 or 11.
Wow.
So I remember. Me and Stargate are sitting there. We're making some beats. Everything's all good. We got all these beats happening, and we loved this one that we made. And I said, oh my God, we got to send this to like Eminem or Kanye. And we like sent it. And I remember Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's manager, was like, we love this thing. And I was like, oh, that's so sick. Fast forward like 8 months. Never heard anything from that. Sia's in the studio. She'd finished all of her music for the day. Okay. And this was like before Uber was big or anything. And she was like, I'm going to call a car. She called a car. They said, oh, the car is like 18 to 20 minutes away. She said, okay, well, I guess pull up another thing. Well, I wait. We pull up the beat to Diamonds. In 15 minutes, song, lyrics, melody, harmonies, full demo, done. Okay.
Insane.
Her car gets here. She had a few minutes to spare to go to the bathroom. Okay. I remember Stargate was like, we're going to send this to Rihanna. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't, you know, I couldn't hear the song yet. I was like, I don't know. No, maybe we shouldn't. I was like,
Well,
let's.
also, you really looked up to Eminem for the longest time, right? And now
Yeah, I just like didn't hear the song. Sometimes you don't hear the song. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if this one's like our best. Maybe we should send something else.
Oh.
And then, yeah.
Got it.
And I was like, I don't know about this song. And then they were like, you got to trust us. You got to trust us. And I said, you know what? You guys know Rihanna so well. Let's see what happens. And then I remember getting the call where they were like, Rihanna loves this. And then they made one change. Shine Bright Like a Diamond was only in like the intro, and then they put it over that. They put it over that part. And this guy Tata that works with Jay-Z had like a brilliant idea that just like really made it so catchy. It kept doing that part, and they were like, she wants to cut it, and I was like, shit, okay. And then I remember I was randomly with Sia at like a furniture store or something, and we get a call and they said, she cut it last night, it's coming, this was like Thursday. She cut it last night, it's coming out on Monday. And I was like, wait, what? And I remember being in a meeting with a record label, and they were like, yeah, they're like, Rihanna's looking for songs, like, I don't know, we're going to put something out in the next 6 months. The label didn't even know she was putting that song out.
Wow.
Okay. And they were like, we're putting that song out on Monday. And I was like, what? I was like, this is, and I remember listening to it and just being like, oh my God, this is like the biggest song in the world. Randomly, around the same time, I get a call from Paul Rosenberg, and he's like, hey, Em really loves that beat. And he's like, I think he might be like doing something to it. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, Rihanna, I haven't heard from you in like a year. Rihanna's putting the song out. And he was like, what? No. And then I was like, what? And then somehow it all worked out. Rihanna puts out the song like 3 days later. It becomes the biggest song in the world.
By far.
And yeah, it was crazy. Once her voice was on it, she's so good at making a song, like bringing a song from like a 7 to like a 500.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. But songs rarely don't come out that quickly. Like, it doesn't usually happen. The only other time I remember that happening was when we did Kesha's We Are Who We Are.
That song's great.
Okay, we made that song, and I remember, this is a crazy thing. We made the song, and they were like, we need to put that song out in like 4 days. Like, we were finishing like the repack. It was like the last thing we did. And I remember the day we were going to finish it, we were all like, oh, let's take edibles. Okay. And we took these edibles. It was like, there was like this French guy named Billboard, who's a producer, who like gave us all edibles. And I remember I like took it, and I was like, oh, I feel cool. And I went to the computer, and I sat down at the computer, and the computer like froze, and we had to restart it. And I remember as it was restarting, I was like, I like short circuited, and I was like, whoa. I was like, what's happening to me? And then I was just like, and it was hitting me so hard. The edible hit me so hard that I remember walking out, and the assistant looked at me, and he was like, you don't look so good. And everything was like in slow motion. And he was like, hey. And I was just like, and I like didn't know who I was. And I remember losing my mind. And I was so high. I was at Conway, the recording studio, and it's like all outdoors. And I like went over to the guy, and I was like, can I get some food? And I like ordered food. I was losing my mind. I called my brother to like pick me up. I got so freaked out that I ran and hid in the bushes and started crying. And like, I remember like my brother came to pick me up. They like found me, and they like, I had no shoes on. I like took my clothes off. I had like, and they like dragged me to the car. And I remember Kesha being like, hey, do you want, and I was like, don't talk to me. I just remember yelling, don't talk to me. I go home. I don't remember a thing after that. I sleep for like 24 hours, okay? Then we have like one day to finish the song.
Oh my
So I go back and I finish the song. So if you realize the let me see if I have it on this. What's that song? We Are Who We Are. Okay. So okay, watch this. Is it letting me play it? Okay. So if you notice, please update my browser. Remind me later. I haven't opened this computer in so long. Okay, here we go. Watch. Okay, so if you notice, we had so little time that we didn't have time to record her on a bridge. Okay, so I had 30 minutes to finish the song. Okay, so if you listen to the second verse of this song, watch. Okay. Okay, second verse. Didn't have time to finish the song. So the bridge is literally just DJ Turn It Up a million times in a row. Listen. Watch. But you never notice.
Yeah, this part's great. So you did 30 minutes?
Less. I had no time. We had to turn the thing in. So that's literally, I was like, what can we put there? We have no more vocals from her. And then I was like, DJ, turn it up, up. And it just worked. And people loved it. And people have no idea, because it's not, it like gets you pumped up.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is insane. Before you even started playing the song, that was the part I was singing in my head.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone sings that part. Literally, it's literally just the verse. That's it.
Wow.
That's what happens.
Do you also have Diamonds?
The demo? Let me see if I have it on this computer.
There's this famous video of Sia playing it at there was like some sort of conference.
Yeah, oh yeah, here we go. Here's the original version without.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
That's Sia.
Fine light in the beautiful sea. I choose to be happy. You and I, we're like diamonds in the sky. I saw the life inside of you. Shine bright tonight. You and I, we're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. I so alive. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
There's no shine bright like.
We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
There's no shine bright like a
No
diamond.
shine bright like a diamond.
Because then we did an edit where it goes. It makes it so much better.
Makes it so much better.
Crazy, right?
That's insane. If you're a musician, producer, or creative, then you know the struggle. Carrying your entire setup on the go. And there's never enough space for it. You got 2 laptops, an iPad, an iPhone, chargers, headphones, AirPods, everything in between. And most bags don't fit it at all. That's why I got the Nomatic travel pack 3 years ago, and honestly, it's one of the best investments I've ever made for my career. I literally take this bag with me to every interview I do, and it carries everything I have, which is way too much stuff. It feels like Nomatic designs these bags specifically with creatives in mind. I've been able to hold anything I need. MIDI controllers, headphones, hard drives, or even a Zac Efron wig. This bag keeps everything secure, organized, and easily accessible. And you can bet on it.
When I heard Nomatic watches my content and wanted to work together, I immediately jumped at the chance because I only want to work with brands I truly believe in. And by far, this bag, I believe, is the best bag for musicians, artists, creatives, or creators. But if you need more than just a backpack, they also have camera bags, travel packs, check-in luggage, carry-ons, luggages, anything you need as a creative. Nomatic has got you. I've been using Nomatic for years now, and I'm so excited to say that Nomatic is officially giving Behind the Wall listeners 20% off their first purchase. So if you need a new camera bag, travel pack, backpack, or luggage, check out nomatic.com/wall to get yours today. And thank you so much to Nomatic for partnering with us at Behind the Wall. And now back to one of my favorite interviews I've ever done, Benny Blanco.
It's so amazing to witness and watch. I've only been around a few artists like that. Sia literally records her songs in 5 minutes. You play a beat. She says, you play like 1 second. She goes, no, stop it. She goes, I like that one after 1 second. Okay. Then she goes, and she presses record on her little laptop, and she usually either lies on the ground or is in a blanket laying in a fully fetal position with like a blanket on a couch. She goes, and she's like, and just like singing a demo. And she does 3 passes of it, and then she goes, okay, which one's the verse, which one's the chorus, and which one's the pre? And then she goes, okay, I like that. Then she goes, okay, give me 5 minutes. And then she writes it down. Then she goes, okay, let's record. She goes, open 8 tracks. And then she knows how many harmonies. Then she records it in 3 seconds. Esther Dean was like that too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like some of these people, it takes me so long to finish anything. Like even like after she does that, I like sit there and I like just like cry over each lyric. And I'm like, should it be thee or it? Like, and it's like I'm so tortured by my own brain, and they just do it so quickly.
So they record, like they write, they're doing the song, they get it out, demo's there. How long does it take to get from a demo to a finished song then?
With me, a long time.
How long is a long time?
Sometimes a week, sometimes a year, sometimes 3 years, sometimes 2 months, sometimes 8 years. I sit on songs until it's like the perfect time with the perfect artist, because I think everything has to align the right way, Mm-hmm. And it's just like, sometimes it works right then and there. Sometimes it doesn't.
How, it might be different every time, but like when you are starting a song and doing a song with an artist, like, do you come with beats? Do you like try to make it right on the spot? Do you let the artist like lead the way? Does it depend on the person?
It's different every time. Some artists, you know what I try to explain it as to people. It's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like going to the gym, okay?
Okay.
And the artist is bench pressing.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
sitting down, okay? They're lifting up those reps. They're benching 200. And some artists need you to spot them a little bit more. And some artists, you just are there just like kind of just like in case something happens. Some artists, you're like helping them a little bit. Some artists, you're like kind of pulling the bar up all the way on. And I look at it like that. I just try to get in where I fit in. Some artists, I write the song. Some artists, I help them craft the song. Some artists, I stay out of the way and then just step in when I need to.
Let's say you're doing a new session right now with an artist you really want to work with. Is there an example of an artist you really want to work with right now?
Make one up. You.
Let's say, yeah. Okay, let's say you're working with me.
Okay, I'm working with you.
What would you
How
do?
does the first session go?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm working with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you're not a morning person, so I start the session later. Okay.
Okay.
So the session starts a little later.
Okay.
You come to my house.
Uh-huh.
I like doing it in the house more than a studio because it's less pressure. Studio's so much pressure.
Feels comfortable in a house.
Yeah, studio's
Makes
so
sense.
much pressure. I get so nervous. I usually make majority of my songs that I've made in the studio are made in a lounge because I don't like to be in the studio. I don't even use the real studio.
That's great.
And then you come in.
Okay.
We talk, and I'm like, how are you? And you're like, oh, I'm good. And I'm like, no, how are you? And you're like, I'm good. And I'm like, no, really, how are you? And you're like, I hate this, I hate that. And then we start talking and we're gathering our little story. And then we might make music. We might just talk for a few days. We might make some music that sucks. And then hopefully something good will come out and we'll eat a bunch of food, we'll laugh. And I don't ever force the process, ever. I'm never like, we only have 30 minutes to make a song. It has to be a hit. Like, I'm just like, oh.
Besides when you have a deadline and they're like, we need this song finished.
A song finished, I'm okay with finishing a song, but not creating the idea. No one's like putting, sometimes that naturally happens. Like, with Kesha, we thought Blah, Blah, Blah was going to be the first single. And then right before we were turning in the album, we made TikTok, Your Love Is My Drug.
What?
And yeah. All that stuff. Okay. I told you the California Girls, they had both the singles done. And then I got there and I was sitting in the lounge. Did I tell you that story? On our last thing?
I know about Teenage Dream being the hardest song to like 8 days.
Oh, but I didn't tell you the story of like what happened.
All I know is that Snoop Dogg and Katy were in the viral video happened.
Oh my God. Okay. Real quick. I thought I told you this. Right? I stopped flying, okay? And I didn't want to fly anymore.
Okay. Are you still that? Do you still fly? Or do you not fly anymore?
I'm still not flying.
Got you.
It's so stupid. Do you fly a lot?
I fly when I like.
Do you hate it?
I don't. I kind of just like driving personally.
Really?
Yeah. Personally.
Where do you live again?
Arizona.
Do you drive?
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Like to the gym.
That's it?
Like if I need to go
Where in
somewhere
Arizona?
else. Like Scottsdale, Phoenix area.
Oh, it's so pretty over there.
Yeah, it's just very hot, especially in the summer.
Are you gonna move?
I was literally supposed to move a couple weeks back.
Are you gonna do it?
We'll see.
What?
Yeah.
What made you not want to?
The day that I was supposed to move out here, everything started. And then my sublease got canceled because of everything that's happened. I need to find another
Do you want to
situation.
be out here or no?
Every time I come out here, more exciting stuff like this happens. And I feel like I've been in Arizona all my life, so it's probably time to...
Yeah, I feel like if you're out here, you'll be doing these every day.
Probably.
It's crazy. I don't even know how you do this many from being in Arizona. It's such a quick flight, though.
Yeah. Here, over Arizona to Burbank was 54 minutes.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. I've driven it a million times.
You've driven to where?
Arizona?
Really? You've been to Arizona?
Been to Arizona 75 times.
Like for like what?
Driving through to New York on like road trips.
Drive from California to New York?
Yeah, I take a boat to Europe.
Yeah, but that's a cool story.
Yeah, but
and
that's,
also it was filmed.
That I've
And
done
I
it
watched-
not filmed.
How many times have you done the boat?
Probably like 6.
Really?
Yeah, and I drive to New York very often. I'm doing it in 2
Are you
weeks.
driving or someone
No,
else?
no.
What do you do on the drives to New York?
I take a tour bus and I like hang out with all my friends and like go to fun places.
well,
along
that
the
sounds
way.
enjoyable. That sounds
Yeah.
better than a flight.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I'm doing it in 2 weeks. I just did it a month ago. Okay, so I'm on my way to. I'm on my way to LA.
Okay.
At this point, I'm not driving on a tour bus. At this point, I'm like driving in like a RAV4 with like my brother and like a bunch of people in the car. And it's like we're like stopping every 4 hours because we like are tired. So it takes like 2 weeks. It took me like a week and a half to get to New York or to LA. I was in New York to get to LA. I get to LA. I get in the studio with Katy and all them, and they were like, "Oh, we did it. We finished the album." And I was like, "What?" I like just got there. And they're like, "Yeah, we got the first single. It's the song called Part of Me. And then the second single is this one called The One That Got Away."
Yeah?
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I remember I went to the lounge and I made 2 beats while I was just waiting. Okay. I might have, let's see. Let's take a little. I made 2 beats. The first beat I made, what's it called? Was this.
How did this beat come about? What did you do for this?
We had a little teeny keyboard and a guitar plugged into a system so much smaller than even this.
Okay.
It was just like a rollaway system. And I remember we were just making ideas. I'm trying to remember what Teenage Dream is called. Oh, I think Teenage Dream is this. No. Hold on. I have it in here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, it's this. And it was like, that's why the song sounds so shitty. It's like recorded, like it's just, everything's recorded just like no plug-in, like, and just. That was a keyboard that I got for $20 at a garage sale. And I remember Max walks by the lounge getting a cookie, and he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just a thing we did." Everyone comes in, melody starts happening. Melodies to that and California Girls done that night. And I remember everyone was like, "Yeah, I guess it's okay." Like I remember like, "Yeah, it's okay." And then
right.
well, because you never know.
Yeah.
And then over the next like week or two, we made those songs, and then those wound up being the first singles. And you just like, it's just, I don't know, music's fucking crazy.
What I find interesting is a lot of these songs have that. You were playing it earlier. I forgot which one it was, but it was like just the basis of the parts of, and it was like the actual syncopation, but not the words.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the melody, and then someone comes in and top lines it.
Yeah, sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes the words all come at once. Like it's never, there's not, sometimes I'm taking a shit and I just hear a whole chorus in my head. I hear the whole thing.
Is there what's a song where that happened?
So many songs. Do you know how Dynamite happened? Dynamite's crazy.
And that's a crazy song to be on the toilet for.
No, Dynamite wasn't the toilet. Dynamite, I was at the gym. And at this point, I never like worked out. For some reason, I was just at a gym. I didn't have my cell phone with me. I asked my brother, I said, "Give me your cell phone right now." I was on the treadmill. And I was like, da, 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 da. And I was like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. And I remember I went to the studio early before anyone got there, and they didn't have the synths plugged in because, and I don't know how to do anything with electronics. So if you listen to that song, the main sound in the chorus is a grand piano going dun 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 dun, because I didn't even have a synth. So that became the thing. And I'm not a great player, so it's just 2 notes. It's like, and so many of those songs I made back then were just like, duh, duh, duh. They're all 2 notes because I'm not that good at playing. And I didn't even know you could change the grid type on Pro Tools. So that's why all my first songs, like big songs, are all 120 BPMs, because I didn't even know you could change the tempo.
Okay, I'm an Ableton user. Can you explain for an Ableton
So
user?
the default tempo when you go to Pro Tools is 120. Is that what it is for Ableton?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could change a tempo. So I just made all my songs in 120.
Well, clearly it worked.
I guess it did at that moment. Yeah.
Do you find that like tempo really impacts a song?
Yeah, I'm changing tempos all the time. I'm like going up, down, up, down. Like now it's so easy to move them around and stuff. And I'm moving them to different keys, doing all sorts of shit.
So last time we talked about like how you make like different food for different artists.
Yeah.
What is like, do you find that like certain artists like different food? Like, do you make a specific food for?
Yeah, I make
individual-
every experience different for everyone. Like, what's your favorite food?
I am a big. My mom makes this really incredible chocolate chip pumpkin bread,
Okay, so that's your favorite food, chocolate chip pumpkin bread?
but made by my mom specifically. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd bring your mother, I'd call your mother, and I would ask her, I would beg her for the recipe before you came in. And then like you would tell me this in our first session that your mom's is my favorite, so, your favorite. And somehow I'd find out your mom's information, get the recipe, and then like have it the next time you came in.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I would do for you.
You're a very like very personable kind of like person. Just like
Personable kind of person.
yeah. The other two songs
How much time do we have left to do stuff so I know?
we have until 11, so 30 more minutes.
So then who do we
we have blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We have Ed Sheeran Divide. Also, I mean, you just have like so many songs. These were the songs that I was given, but I mean, like, you're. I mean, I'm fine to go over any of them.
Probably Ed Sheeran Divide would be cool to go into because we could because not only did we write so many songs like for that album, there's like 5 number ones that spawned for other artists.
That is crazy. I heard you say that.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk about the songs?
Yeah.
That
Yeah, let's do it.
that's insane. First of all, I don't know if you said that in an
No,
you said that in,
I don't think I've ever really like dug into it.
you guys wrote 5 number ones for other artists.
I think so. Are we filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we are. Okay, let's talk about Divide.
Yes.
Yeah, look, Divide was so interesting. Okay, the whole story to this is actually pretty crazy. Ugh. I'm like stretched into a thing. Okay. So how I met Ed is like such an have I even told you this before?
I've heard it, but
Okay. So how we met, my manager, who used to work for Atlantic, called me up and he said, hey, there's this guy who's just starting to put out music in the UK. And I think he's really good. And I think we should work with him. And I said, okay, play me a song. And they played me A-Team. A-Team had come out.
incredible, by the
Yeah.
way.
And I was like, I got to work with this man right now. He was coming to America. And I had email at the time. I don't have email anymore. But I had an email. And I remember someone put us on email. And Ed was like, hey, nice to meet you. And I was like, I have to shit. That's all I wrote on the email. I said, I have to shit. I said, hi, I have to shit. And everyone was like, why did you do that? Like he's not going to write back. Like he's never going to.
Everyone meaning like the people.
Yeah, all the people on the email, my manager. And then like a day later, he wrote back, me too. And I was like, okay, now I know I'm going to be friends with this guy. We met up for a drink in New York City. We had like the best time ever. We recorded 2 songs the first day. Don't. And some song that I thought was the big song. So I was like, we have to work on this song. But then Don't was the one we wound up working on. And Don't, such an interesting story. Because we made this song. And then he was like, Rick Rubin's going to produce my album. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, Rick wants to take a stab at your song. So he took a stab at it and it was like all live music. And I remember Rick played it for me. And I was like, Rick, I love like the way mine sounds. Mine sounds better, I think. And Rick was like, well, why don't we take all of your electronic sounds and the ones you did with Ed and time them to the live musicians so it has a better feel. And I was like, that's going to take so long. I have like 30 kicks and 30 snare. And he was like, well, the engineer can like put it together. And like the engineer started putting it together, and me and Rick like went around his house, and like we like picked eggs and like and we like laid with no shirts on, and I don't know, we did like all this crazy stuff. And we were like, he was like showing me like underwater like aerobics.
Oh my gosh.
And like 5 hours later, we came back in, and the man had finally finished it, and he like played it, and I was like, I don't know, man. I think I like the original way better. And he goes, all right. He goes, worth a shot. And the engineer like did like 5 hours of work. And then I remember like me and Ed were like cutting new vocals, and then we played it for Rick, and he was like listening. And he listened like 3 times in a row, and he was like, this song makes me feel orange. And I was like, what? And he was like, it makes me feel orange. And then I was like, oh. And then I was like, well, what do we need to do to fix it? And he goes, you'll figure it out. And then he walked out of the room. And then we thought about it so long. And that's like the genius of Rick. You like sit there, and then we start fixing all the things that we think are wrong in the song. And I think he knew we were going to do that. So then like after we were done, we played it for him, and he was like, it's perfect. And I was like, did he just like get into my mind and tell me what to fix without telling me what to fix? I was like, this song does make me feel orange. And then I remember after the success of that song on that album, and that was Ed's first #1 at radio. Like, and it was like, yeah, and he was like, whoa, shit. And I remember he called me, and he's like, hey, let's make some more music. And I said, well, when are we going to make music? And he said, well, I'm on tour for a while. And I said, why don't I just come on tour with you? And he said, whoa, I've never had anyone come on tour with me. I said, yeah, why don't we just set up a studio at every arena or stadium, and I'll just be on tour with you. And I went out for a week, and it turned into 2 years. And
Wow.
we worked on an album for 2 years. And obviously, it was so great. It was Ed's biggest album. It sold like 40 million copies. It was like one of the biggest albums ever. And I was like, whoa, this is fucking insane. An album that we just made like on a tour bus in the back of studios in his house and stuff. We never worked in a real studio. It was all done just like whatever we had at the time. And then, it was so interesting because not only did we get the success of that, we made like so many other big songs for other people during that time. Like during that time, not only did we make like, have like, Castle on the Hill, Perfect, all these big songs, we were able to somehow get all these, and you don't even notice when you're in it like that. But it's like, look, it's crazy. Watch this. Okay. Some of these songs took such different shape. Like, listen to this. You won't even know what this is yet. Watch.
Everybody gets high sometimes, What else can we do when we're feeling low? So take a deep breath and let it go. You shouldn't be drowning on your own. If you feel you're sinking, I will jump right over into cold, cold water for you. And though the time may take,
Then
everybody gets high sometimes,
it's crazy, right? Like, and these songs, they become these like different worlds. Like, and you look at like, let me see if I even have this
I heard Ed say that he doesn't even remember writing that song. I remember he said that he got a text from Diplo that was like, that, or like from you or him, and like we're thinking about putting this song out. And he's like, I don't even remember what that was.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I know. It's insane. And then, you know, you look at like, I wonder if I have it on this computer. This is a crazy one. One sec. Okay. So, me and Ed Sheeran are, you know, obviously you've seen the video of us.
Of course.
Of us making Love Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Canada. We're on our way to America. Okay? We got invited to Drake's like after party for like his album with Future. And we were like, oh my God. We get there. We have the best night ever. We're like wasted. We go to a pizza place that's closed and we like bang on the door and we're like, please. And they like let us have like one last pizza. We're eating pizza. We get back on the bus. We decide to make a song because we want to stay up because they're going to wake us up anyways at the Border Patrol in like 2 hours. We make a song. Here's the song we make.
For all the times that you rain on my parade.
Listen to the noise in the background of the bus. Look, listen.
The ringing?
Yeah, listen.
For all the times that you rain on my parade. And all the clubs you get in using my name. You think you broke my heart, oh go for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own, well I ain't. And I didn't wanna write a song, cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still care, I don't, but...
So it's like you have these moments, and I remember we did that song and we were like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then it becomes this like big song. And there's like so many like that. Like you look like we were in a hotel in Philly. Yeah. Okay. Listen to this. So we're in a hotel in Philly. Okay. Blake Slatkin's my intern at the time. It's the one day he didn't come to the room because we were like, oh, we're just going to like try some ideas. And we sat down and I remember we ordered food and like the old lady, there was like an old lady who was like bringing the food in, like who worked at the hotel. And I remember Ed opened the door and she was like, oh, and she almost dropped all the food. And she was like, oh my, sorry. And she like, I just remember that moment so vividly. And then me and Ed started doing this song and he was like, yeah, it's okay. And then it was, and I remember we pitched it up right away because he was like, we should just give this to like a girl or something. Look, this is like first demo. And then we pitched it up.
When I was young, I fell in love. We used to hold hands, man, that was enough. Yeah. Then we grew up, started to touch. We used to kiss underneath the light on the back of the bus. I know your daddy didn't like me, but he didn't believe me when I said you were the one. But every day, she found a way out of her window, sneak out late. She used to meet me on the east side of the city where the sun don't set. And every day, you know, we ride through the back streets in a blue Corvette. Baby, you know I just wanna leave tonight. We can go anywhere.
So crazy.
Drive down to the coast.
So sick.
Just take my hand and come with me. Singing, we can do anything if we put our mind to it. Take your old life.
Like it's just to me, the like when stuff like that happens, it's magic. We made that whole album. We made so many songs for other people
And for you.
Yeah, and for me. And then we also made that song during that time. We made, what was that big song? Anne Marie song, 2002. We made that song during that time too. With Julia.
Yeah.
We made that was all made during that album. Like we made I think we had 5.
Was that the day y'all wrote Dive too?
Yeah, that was the day
That's
we wrote
crazy.
that. I know. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
I have a dumb question.
Yes.
What? Okay, you have like East Side 1.0, 4K for J.
Yeah.
What's your organization process like? And then what does that mean?
Like, so I was like, oh, this is like,
Oh, okay, got it. And I get that one.
Yeah. So like we just have like I'm always just getting ideas. I get them in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I wonder if Khalid would like this thing, and then send it, and it always just, I don't know. I feel like my best ideas always come like at the worst times when I don't want them to come. It's always like when I'm in like an important conversation with someone, I'll be like talking to them and I'll be like listening to them and I'm like, oh fuck, this is an idea. And I have to like pretend or actually keep listening to them and retaining the information, but also
And then think about the idea.
like think about the idea at the same time. Ed Sheeran used to do, we would be on tour, we'd be working on a song, backstage, okay? We're working on the song. And they're like, Ed, 10 minutes. And he's like, okay. He's like, working on the song. Some people come in, he's signing autographs while we're singing a song, while we're working on it. He's like taking pictures, still working on it. And then they're like, 3 minutes. And then he's like, still working. And they're like, 2 minutes. They come in, they like put the thing on his head. And then they're like, 1 minute. And then he's like, keep working on the song. I'll be right back. He goes, performs for 2 hours, okay? Then he comes back and he's like, okay, I was thinking about the pre-chorus while I was on stage. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I was thinking about it. And I said, how can you think about it while you're singing a song to 80,000 people? I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. And somehow he does it. It just comes back and then came back and would like lay the chorus down right then.
Like while he's playing the songs.
Insane.
Let's just think about the
It's
song.
insane. I'm so stupid. I'm like these
But
compared
you said that you do that as well, right? You're able to like listen to someone and come up with an idea in real time.
It's true. But I'm not doing it in front of 80,000 people. I'm doing it in front of like my mom when she's talking to me. When like your mom calls you and like you just go,
Yes.
yeah. Like it's like that. I'm not like in a shootout and like in front of like 90,000 people.
Singing like A-Team while
I
thinking
know
about
it's
the
great
pre-chorus
and making
of
everyone
song.
cry. But it's just like second nature to these
Yeah.
artists.
100%.
It's crazy. I feel like this is a good interview.
I think this is phenomenal.
What else are we going to talk about?
We can always take this out if this is not something that you'd want to leave in. But for Julia was like one of the first interviews I ever had.
Yeah.
Ever. Told me the story of Sorry. She told me that the same day that Sorry hit #1,
Yeah.
they wrote the song.
Yeah.
But Same Old Love also went #1 on radio the same day.
Oh yeah.
And she was saying that. But then she talked about like all these artists who wanted it, and there's only one that's leaked onto YouTube by another
really?
artist.
Who was it?
Charli XCX.
Oh yeah.
Who was the person who helped co-write Same Old Love.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
to think about. Was there something about that demo and that song that everyone wanted issues from? It was just like,
It's just Julia was so raw on it, and she sounded so. The demo is literally what's out.
oh, that's sick.
It's literally what's out. It's there. There's like minor changes, but it was so raw, and it was a song that I feel like so many people could relate to. So many people in general. It's just like, yeah, I got issues, and it's it was one of those moments where I remember every time I would like drive in a car, and I would see someone singing at the top of their lungs that song, like by themselves. And like those are the moments where I'm just like, we made the right decision. Or like when you're at a concert and you see like thousands of people singing the song with their children and I knew we made the right decision by giving Julia that song. It might not have been the right decision in the moment. Maybe there was a million other people that wanted that song, but like Charli's a testament to everything. Charli's written songs for so many other people. She's been around
Senorita.
forever.
Yeah.
She's been around. I worked with Charli when she was 14 years old.
Wow.
Okay, I was on her first trip to America. I don't think she had any songs out really in America yet.
That's
like
sick.
she had just done a few shows, and I remember how talented she always was. And it's just like, sometimes people just get their flowers like a little bit later than, look, now she's like the biggest artist in the world.
Yeah.
And she's saying exactly what she wants. And she, she's paving the way for so many young artists that can be themselves and they don't have to fit the norms of like pop music, and you can say what you want to say. And I think we're at a really interesting time right now. Artists like Chappell Roan, like those artists would never exist before.
True.
And it's just like now kids get to pick what they want. There's not like labels holding back barriers being like, you have to listen to this song and we're going to feed this down your throat like until you vomit and like it. No, there's people like who are like, oh my God, this girl Chappell Roan is saying shit that like I vibe with. And yeah, maybe she's a little bit different than what is like known as like pop music, but this is my pop. This is what I want to listen to, And I feel like there's so many artists that in 2010 couldn't exist the way that they do now. And I think that's really cool. That's really cool that fans get to decide who gets to be big. There might be an artist who's unknown yesterday and today they have the biggest song in the world. And like, that's so powerful to me.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like we live in such a like an artist dominated part now versus how it was back in the day, which is amazing.
God. Yeah, it's amazing. People want these, especially for females. I feel like we're in an era right now where like the females are like reigning supreme and doing, everyone, it's so great that like Billie Eilish wouldn't have been an artist that in 2006, if somebody was like Billie Eilish, they'd be like, what? They'd be like, we want this like typical thing, doing the dance moves and all the, no. People don't want that. They want a girl who's like dressing cool as fuck, saying exactly what's on her mind and just being herself. And like I feel like the artists today, I can't wait to see the next generation because they're growing up on these amazing artists. So I can't wait to see like what that brings 5-10 years from now. You know what I mean? All the artists who are growing up on these artists right now. It'd be cool.
And you're excited to work with all of them?
Maybe. Is there anything else you want to ask me before we wrap up?
When you said that earlier about Animals, by the way, taking 8 years, I saw that Timbaland said Pony.
Yeah.
He held on to that song for 8 years.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Y'all have that in common.
That's insane.
So earlier when you were talking about like making a song with somebody.
Yeah.
You go through the process of like connecting with. So, okay, here's what it sounds like actually is happening then.
Okay.
You have a conversation with the actual artist.
Yes.
They are telling their story.
Yes.
You guys are like forming an actual genuine connection. You guys have an actual genuine conversation. And it sounds like whatever you're talking about oftentimes becomes the song.
Yeah, of course. Always.
Okay, so I was in a session with somebody and I tried this process.
What would you do?
We did this whole thing because like Tranter told me about this too with other things like that, and they wanted to stop writing because they felt it became too real.
Yeah, stuff like that happens. Stuff like that happens all the time, where like something becomes. And then those usually wind up being the best songs, but it's hard. Sometimes you got to work your way back to those. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like a song like that, it's so good, but an artist gets really scared of it because it's exposing such a real side to whatever they have, going on. And it's like music. It's hard because when you're writing a song, it's kind of like a therapy session. And when you're writing a song, it can become so real because if I'm doing a song with you, you might say things to me that you wouldn't say to me in real life because you have like the mask of the song to disguise it through. So you might like say things about me that you might not even say with like your closest friends, because it just kind of falls out because you're in a creative space that feels safe. So sometimes something like that falls out and you like sit there and you're like, oops, I don't want the whole world to hear this. And it's hard because a lot of these artists, you know, they're going to be singing this song for 30 years and they might not feel, some people's biggest songs, they don't feel that way 10 years later than what they did when they wrote it. And it's like, it's so complicated because it's like a creative art form and everyone's like, well, just let us hear the songs. But sometimes it gets too real and like certain songs never come out. Like I have songs that I've done with people that are incredible that will never come out. Like I have like unreleased songs with everyone that are insane. That just have to sit on my hard drive because you have to respect the artist.
For sure. Do you ever go back and listen to them?
Yes. I have so many that I like love that like I hope, but you know, with my theory, 8-10 years, they might come out. You never know. Or sometimes you give that song to another person, another artist who is okay with saying words like that. That happens a lot too.
That makes sense.
You know, like some artists like Charlie or Julia, they'll give away a song because they're like, actually, it doesn't feel right for me. I want to give it to somebody else. And then it gets to see the light of day in a different way.
Wow. So, okay. Going back to what we said at the beginning with this goal of like helping the next musical creatives. A lot of people who are watching right now probably are, you know, making music, want to be songwriters, want to be producers, want to be artists. I think it's really cool because, I mean, this has never really been done before, like to a certain extent, but not to this level. So first of all, thank you so much for letting us go behind the wall and showing the demos of the songs. What is your advice to anyone out there who wants to, one, start making music or wants to start making music their full-time thing?
Start today. Okay. Start yesterday. Okay. Just start. Because you never know what you're going to be. You know, it's like, I started out, I thought I was going to be the biggest rapper in the world. I wasn't the biggest rapper in the world, but you know what? I landed in a pretty cool job.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't be so precious. Like you can reinvent yourself a million times. Every artist has a past. You go on, you see like Post Malone's first song, you see this person's first song. And it's like, I like the evolution, showing where someone evolves. And I think right now the point of entry is easier than it's ever been. You could be nobody today and tomorrow have the biggest song in the world. Put up your music, make videos, express yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. If your music sounds like everyone else, it's probably not that good yet. You should do something that makes it sound like you. Just be original, be yourself. Fuck everyone else. Sorry for cursing.
For all the moms out there that are watching this right now.
I'm sorry, Mom. And my own mother, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mom. When I started this series, it was to shine a light on the people and stories behind music, but it was also to inspire every underdog to go for it. I used to work, told you this last time, I used to work at a call center. Before that, like graduated without a job, wanted to do music, wanted to create videos, wanted to do interviews, wanted to do all these things. I made a vision board. Put you, Tedder, John Williams, Hans Zimmer, Chris Martin, so many people I wanted to talk to, collaborate with, meet, and I put it on the wall. I started making videos like crazy every single day with my shitty little iPhone and recording my 2015 MacBook Pro. And then after 6 years, and actually yesterday, I started to tear up, like tears of joy, like about this specifically, because like I couldn't believe that something like this was able to happen. Something that like this to me like has always been a dream. So the fact that I'm able to do this like for a living is incredible.
It's crazy.
And you like, I think over time a lot of people have. You're gonna get like a million no's, but all you need is like that one person to believe in you. And luckily, I had like 5 of my first interviews, people who like are some of my musical heroes, like Julia, like Tranner, like Tedder, like you.
Aww.
So I just wanted to say Thank you again for doing this.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us go behind the wall once more
We did it. We went behind the wall.
to see the incredible demos of the songs.
What's this? You always give me a little thing.
Because you're just the king. You're just a legend, and I appreciate you every single time.
Oh my God, it's so long.
You don't have to read it right now.
Okay, I'll read it later. I don't want anyone to know our little secrets that we hold. Okay, guys, it's behind the wall. We did it.
We did it.
We did it again. This is amazing. Thank you, guys. I meant that shit, guys. Just start today. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
And this is probably gonna drop around the time of your new project.
Oh yeah, my new album. It might be out yet. I don't know. We're recording. This is the future. We're gonna be in the future. We're recording. I have an album. It's coming out or it's out, and I hope you like it. And I love you.
Check out Benny's new album. Hopefully, it's out now.
Bye.
Bye.
How was that?
That was amazing.